Hey everyone, so once again, something has arrived in the mail and once again I'm making a video on it. Today is special however, since I'll be unboxing and building my very own QK60. Okay, so let's address the elephant in the room. I'm pretty late to it, aren't I? Well, there's a pretty simple reason. Basically, I was region locked out of purchasing the QK60 from QK60 and instead had to buy it from my local vendor here in Australia, SwitchKeys. This means that instead of being shipped directly from the factory, it first had to make its way to SwitchKeys before it could arrive here, and naturally, these things take time. So yeah, most people who wanted the QK60 have it, and those who were interested have watched their fair share of content about it. So why exactly am I making a video on it? Oh yeah. So when the second release of the QK60 rolls around, literally next quarter, which starts in April, you'll have one more video of me yapping on about it to help inform you and hopefully help you decide if you want one, or a second one. Okay, so while I explained all that, you've been watching me build this, but let me provide you with some information. The QK60 is a 60% gasket mounted keyboard. It came in 3 different layouts, HHKB, WinKeyless, and WinKey, which is what I have here today. It started at $138 and went to $155 USD, excluding shipping. In Australian, mine cost $270. The QK60 released in a variety of color options, including smoky or clear acrylic, anodized black, and e-white for the top cases. Ice white, burgundy, black, pink, lavender, and mint for the bottom case, and you had the option of ice white, black, golden, or chroma for the weight. As you can see, I personally chose the burgundy back case with the smoky acrylic top and the black weight. I think this looks amazing. Just like all their previous installments, QWERTY included a screwdriver, a set of Owl Lab stabs, and a USB-C cable in the form of gifts. This is actually my first keyboard which has had the option of foams, and while foams are typically disregarded because they commonly make all keyboards sound the same, I thought I'd give them a shot due to my lack of experience, being no experience with foam boards. As I'm sure you're aware, I'm making the most with what I've been given here, as I imagine most of you also used what was included. So yeah, I'm using the Owl Lab stabs today, coating both the housing and wire with Krytox 205G0, a quick test of the PCB to confirm everything is working, and with all the foams in place, on goes the matching red aluminium plate. Damn, that is nice. Now, the final icing on this QK60 cake comes from the wonderful folks over at PrestigeKeys. They reached out to little old me and provided the switches I'll be using in this video. The famous KNC Red Jacket Linears and the KNC Black Jacket Tactiles, which I'll try later. Personally, I was going to buy the Red Jacket Linears anyway, as I had seen good things about them, but mainly because I wanted to match the switches with the plate as close as possible to keep in line with the theme of the keyboard. So, without further ado, here's a sound test for the QK60, with full foams, aluminium plate, KNC Red Jacket Linears topped off with GMK white on black. In my opinion, that sounded so good. The KNC Red Jacket Linears consist of a UC nylon top and bottom housing with a 13.5mm HPE stem, a somewhat light 60g double stage spring with a 2mm pre-travel and 3.5mm total travel distance. Similar to what you'd hear in other reviews, these switches have a really good factory lube experience. In my opinion, I can compare these to GAT Oil Kings. I haven't found the need or want to further hand lube these as the stock typing experience is well done. That, in combination with the QK60's alu plate, provides a loud poppy typing experience which I really enjoy. I'm not alone in my opinion either. Recently, I went to the Brisbane keyboard meetup here in Australia. I brought the QK60 along and I was able to meet some pretty great people who had some pretty great boards. A bunch of people tried the QK60 out and I got some really positive responses from it. While there, I also saw some really cool boards, including this F1 722, a TGR Dolus, a Pikachu-themed keyboard, this, which scares me, and this concrete abomination which weighed an insane amount. So it's been a few weeks since I first built the QK60, and overall my experience has been positive. As I had explained in a previous video, I had only just missed out on the QK65, and while a 60% keyboard was a pretty foreign concept for me, I decided to take the plunge, and after spending some time using the QK60, realized that I could go without arrow keys for the most part. The inclusion of Bluetooth in this keyboard has also been a welcome surprise. It almost seems backwards in a sense that a lot of high-end mechanical keyboards lack this option. I can understand that this boils down to aesthetics, battery placement, and general preference, but being able to easily take the QK60 almost everywhere as long as I had the receiver has been a nice touch considering the QK60 is considered a budget-friendly mechanical keyboard. Before I conclude this video, here's a sound test of what the KNC black jackets that PrestigeKeys provided sound like in the QK60. You know, I preferred Tactiles for a long time. Before I really got into this hobby, I had an original Keychron K2 with blue switches. After spending so much time recently with linears, I thought my previous experiences with Tactiles would never be the same. Ironically, I struggled typing on Azure Dragons and Bobu U4Ts because I felt like the keys couldn't keep up when I typed. Almost like the tactile experience felt like my fingers were tripping over each other. However, these black jacket switches are really interesting. The tactile feel is there, but it's so light in comparison to other tactiles I've tried, it honestly feels like this unique hybrid between the two. For me, this is kind of perfect as the sensation is nice, but not overly sluggish in comparison to these other tactiles. Thanks so much to PrestigeKeys for sending over these switches. I'll have a link in the description to both switches if you're interested. If you've made it this far, I really appreciate it. The QK60 has surprised me in many ways. I'm genuinely happy that I took the time to purchase this keyboard. Maybe 60% aren't that scary after all. Well, thanks so much. Have a great day.
Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of bird.